Hi, Steve Harrison here, and with me is Melody Krafft. Melody is the award-winning author of Get Me Out of Here, What's Beyond This Madness? And she's known as a soul navigator, a psychologist, an intuitive, and TV host of programs on metaphysics, and helps people master their soul purpose. So, Melody, there's a lot there. We've used that word soul a lot. Why is that such a part of what you do?
Well, I make a distinction between people walking their life path and their soul path. So, in a person's life path, what we're doing is we're learning how to master this physical world. But the soul journey is about mastering your soul.
Wow, that's a distinction that most people don't think about. You know, talk more about that. People in this life want to achieve things and do things. And how does the work that you do and getting them to think about their soul path, what are some of the benefits of that?
Well, first of all, I want to say individuals usually don't really start shifting into being concerned about their soul path until they're in their 40s. Because before that, they're learning how to master this physical world, how to be successful in it. And they reach a point where they have achieved a number of success. And then they realize there feels like something's missing, that they want something more in their life. And so that's when they start looking and seeking within. And it can be a very lonely journey and not knowing where to go because you're walking on an unbeaten path because everyone has their own path. And yet there's many common elements that we all go through. How people shift in their soul journey is what they're shifting is their level of consciousness. So what that means is they're moving out of fear and they're moving towards love. Sometimes people will ask me the question, well, how do I know where I am in my soul journey? I remember one man asked me one time, he goes, well, tell me where I am. Am I at 80% or 90%? And I thought, well, okay, this is an interesting question. And it sort of reflected where he was, the fact that he needed to know. But there's a simple way that you can gauge where you are. And it's by asking yourself, how loving am I becoming?
Love that, pun intended. I mean, wow. Many people want to change themselves and improve themselves. And they might say, I need to be bigger, more well-known, more successful, more disciplined, you have a totally different perspective on that mindset.
Right. So I'm not encouraging people that you have to learn more things and add more things to yourself. I'm encouraging people to subtract. So in this life, on your soul journey, you're not ever adding anything to yourself because you already have everything. What you're doing is you're subtracting all the illusionary beliefs that you have about yourself that keep you stuck in the past, that tell you who you think you are, but it's not who you really are.
Wow. And I think that's a total shift of perspective for people. Give me some examples of when people are more aware of their soul purpose, their soul path, and have worked with you. Can you give me one or two examples of what a difference it's made for people?
Yes, I've been fortunate that I've had a lot of people coming to my workshops, my classes, really over the past maybe 12 years, where I start shifting and working on a soul level. And people would say, their heart would be telling them what they wanted to do, but they so felt stuck, like they didn't know that they had the ability to do it, that they weren't good enough. They were concerned how other people would perceive them. And so I would talk to them and work with them individually or in a workshop. And today, I get excited every time I think about it. Some of these people have dramatically shifted their lives. They have left their former jobs. They've started their own businesses and they're successful at it. So they're absolutely doing what they love and they're feeling really good about themselves. Not only are they feeling good about themselves, they're now extending this capacity of love that they have to others. And so they're changing other people's lives too. So it's quite exciting.
Wow. Yeah, and they're becoming more loving, as you said, which is such a great question. How can people learn more about your work and this important topic?
Well, I do encourage people to look at my book, read it, besides just looking at it. It's Get Me Out of Here, What's Beyond This Madness, because it takes people through the 3 stages of spiritual awakening. That is helpful. They can also reach me through my website, which is melodykrafft.com.
Melody, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.